Yes, maybe I should consume some alcohol to get rid of my non-alcoholic hangover. But anyway, guys, lots of news today, so let's switch over to the news show. That's right, first piece of news is Twitch Plays Pokemon is officially over. Actually, no, it's not. They're just going to be starting again. But they have finished the first game after 16 hours, 7 days, and 45 minutes. We have the somehow 50,000 to 100,000 people managed to finish the Pokemon game. How they managed to do this, and I did it in Anarchy as well, is anyone's best guess. But for those of you guys who are not really sure about what this was, essentially a live stream sort of started up where people could enter inputs into the chat and play Pokemon. Now, it just took commands in sequence, and because of the delay, things got pretty hectic, and because there was like some people intentionally trolling and other people just having poor coordination, it was a bit, a bit all over the place, and it led to some pretty entertaining moments. Honestly, I actually tuned into Twitch Plays Pokemon a few times, and every time I actually had a bit of a laugh. It just sort of gets to you. It's like the worst thing in the world, but it's something I'm glad that happened. So now that it's over, there was like a short 24-hour break, and they're going again, but with this time with the next generation of Pokemon game. So it's not over, guys, it's not over. It's not over. But you can see here all the people entering inputs and all that sort of stuff, but they somehow managed to get through the game. My favorite thing about Twitch Plays Pokemon is actually going to Reddit Twitch Plays Pokemon, and checking out just like the memes and stuff people create around it, and like these like little hand-drawn comics and things like that. It's like this. It's like as it fades away, the voices in his head fade away. It's just the creations, the fan art and stuff like that. The culture that's developed around this game has been very entertaining. So it's been an interesting sort of social experiment. There we go. Okay, so next up we have some Diablo 3 news. The Guaranteed Legendary is being removed from Skeleton King. So for those of you guys who didn't know, whenever you killed Skeleton King for the first time on a playthrough, there's actually a reset quest feature where after you went through the game you could reset the quest, do Skeleton King, and get another Guaranteed Legendary. And I did this on my Demon Hunter just the first time through, got the Guaranteed Legendary. Pretty nice stuff. It's a nice thing, but it being on Skeleton King was pretty abusable basically. So what they have done is they've taken away from Skeleton King and added on to Diablo. Makes a lot more sense, I think. The idea with it being on Skeleton King was that new players would get a legendary pretty early on, and it'd be kind of fun. But it being on Diablo makes a lot more sense. I think you finish the game, then you get your guaranteed legendary. So now you can reset the quest after you complete the game, go play back through the campaign again, and at the end there's a guaranteed legendary waiting for you, which is a really cool feature, I think. So I think that's a pretty nice change overall. Now, guys, we have so much Path of Exile news. Now, the first thing, I'm going to link you to this page, guys, because it has all of the videos, and I can't actually watch these videos. Like, we watched the Sacrifice of the Vaal trailer the other day when it came out, but there's sort of these walkthroughs with Chris Wilson on Shack News, GameSpot, MMORPG, Escapist, and Game Trailers. I think the GameSpot one was the one I liked the most, I think. But they're all pretty similar, and they all show off like the same skills and stuff like that. But I recommend you go check, one or two of them out and get some pretty cool info there. Pretty cool info, and the looks at the new skills in those, and like the looks at the new areas and stuff. Pretty awesome stuff. We got to see things like the corrupted zones. A boss in the corrupted zone. There was this guy that throws spectral throw and then has a really long duration storm calls that basically fill up the screen, and then after like 30 seconds they all go off at once. That was pretty epic. And we got to see some of the new corrupted skills and things like that, as well as Chris also showing off strong boxes while dying attempting to open the strong box. So pretty cool stuff. And from this I actually got that the Ambush League looks really fun. So I'm hyped to play both Ambush and Invasion League. So we know a bit about, I can actually scroll down here, we know a bit about Ambush and Invasion League now, and a bit more what's going on. So the Ambush League is where essentially it's the default league. You can open up these chests, which you can see here, an Arcanist Strongbox. They start off unidentified. You can actually use scrolls on them, otherwise they can even be white. But they start off with a random rarity, just like items, and you can actually use a scroll on them in the game world, which is pretty cool, to ID them, and you can actually re-roll them. So, for example, you could re-roll it, you could chaos it until you get something like this. Contains an additional unique item. Oh, GG. A guaranteed unique item. So, it's got, contains additional rare items. Contained items have an additional socket. So, like, things that affect the items a lot. And it also, like, casts a firestorm, summons skeletons when you open it. So, there's these interesting little, like, some sort of scary mods, also some good mods. And you can potentially sink a lot of currency into these trying to get, like, a really good payout. Or you can sort of just open them as you go. So, it makes an interesting, like, currency decision, how you actually invest in these when you find them in the world. And I also saw one that was like drops items that are 5 levels high above the zone. So when you're doing find one in maps and it's like 5 levels higher, that could be very powerful. So pretty interesting stuff overall there. But we can actually go ahead and take a look at the overall thing. We've got some looks at Asri, the Queen of the Vaal. There's lots of information here. I'll link this post for you guys. Guaranteed Crown of Thorns. But, alright, so there's a little bit of a list of features and stuff like that. I'll go through the main ones. We took a look at the secret corrupted areas. It is pretty much what we've seen in an earlier teaser video, where the zone has map mods on it, essentially. It seems to only have maximum of 2 map mods. I actually saw one that only had 1 map mod. So I don't know if these can spawn rare or not, but they have this sort of like altered zone as you play, and these are actually like extra sort of corrupted areas too. In the videos over on this page, Chris actually showed one that was off of mud flats. So I don't know if these are like random spawns, like if they aren't always there or if they are always there, but pretty interesting stuff. Overall. And then at the end of each one of these corrupted areas is a new boss. Chris said they actually added in 60 new unique bosses into these zones. So much more content. That's awesome. That's really cool. So I'm feeling like things that can do well at hunting bosses are going to be able to take advantage of these new changes to the game. So if you got good single target damage, you're going to do pretty well. Hopefully my Reggae Spirits build ends up being pretty decent at that. Though for leveling it's still pretty generic. We also got some new Vaal skill gems here. We've already seen Cyclone, Ice Nova, that's the Chaining Ice Nova, and we've seen the Vaal Fireball, which is pictured in the image here. But we also have the Vaal Rain of Arrows, which pins enemies in place for 2 seconds when you hit them with it. So again, this is it actually stores 3 uses, so once you kill enemies, you store their souls, and then you can use that up to 3 times, depending on how many souls you have stored, to pin enemies, so a very nice CC there. Just by the way, these actual corrupted gems, or these Vaal gems, the way it works is whenever you kill an enemy, say you have 2 Vaal gems on, you get a soul from that enemy that you kill. So then the soul goes to one of your Vaal gems randomly. So if you're stacking multiple Vaal skill gems, then you actually, you're not sure which one's going to become active first. The idea is that these are ultimate or uber abilities, and you shouldn't always have like access to them, and you have to kind of work for them essentially. So that's pretty cool. The other one is Vaal Immortal Call, which makes you immune to all damage for that duration. Works the same as normal Immortal Call, but makes you immune to all damage, so very powerful obviously, but then it only stores up to 1 use and 32 souls per use, so you really need to charge it up and then have it save you a little bit later on, or use it at an opportune moment. But there's pretty cool, interesting stuff going on with the corrupted gems and with the Vaal. So we actually also got a look in the video what the corrupted orb does, the Vaal orb, and it has like a random chance of, it corrupts an item, and what it does is it has a random chance of giving something beneficial or something negative. You can actually just corrupt something and get nothing positive on it, so you could, like, say, corrupt this item, just get the corrupted affects and nothing positive happens. That's a risk. Now, what actually happens after you use the Vaal Orb is you can no longer craft that item. You can't Eternal it back, you can't, you can't mirror it, you can't, change the sockets after that, you can't craft it any other way. So you have this decision: do you use it on like mid-level items just to make them a little bit better potentially, or do you try and use it on your GG endgame item with the hopes of getting something good, but potentially screwing it up and knowing that you won't actually be able to mirror it afterwards? So do you keep that item for yourself? But it's pretty interesting. They're going to be about as rare as Chaos as well, so we'll actually have quite a few opportunities to use those. So we've seen some other things here. It can add white sockets like we have here with the Prismatic Eclipse, so we can actually get the melee range per white socket on it now, and they've obviously got pretty lucky on the 2 white socket roll here. Otherwise, it can add implicit stats, like this one's got Culling Strike. Culling Strike on an item's pretty cool. This one's got +2 level of Vaal gems in this item. This one could be very powerful because you could essentially have this be a 4-link. You'd want to 4-link it first because after Corrupted you can't actually change the links on this. But getting +2 levels of Vaal gems on that's pretty cool. We've seen the Corrupted maps already, adds 2 extra affixes. And the Corrupted Fireball here is increase the max level. You can also increase the quality of the gem beyond 20, so we've seen that before. But you want to make sure you're 20 quality or 20, I think actually it should still level just the same. But you want to make sure you're 20 quantity at first. The other thing I wanted to mention was in these secret corrupted areas, after you kill the boss, there's a chest that will drop a corrupted skill gem, a Val skill gem. So that's a guaranteed way of sort of hunting down these different gems, and should make an interesting little sort of meta game there. So they actually state the item cannot be mirrored. It said it cannot be modified anymore, but a mirror doesn't modify the item. That's true, Maximilian Zero. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. I assumed that you just couldn't use any currency items on it after that, but there is potential it could be mirrored, I suppose. So that'd be interesting. I feel like that'd be a nice trade-off if it couldn't be mirrored. But yeah, that's true, that's true. I think, no, I'm pretty sure you can still level up the gem after its Val gem, because you actually get these drops at level 1 and you need to level them up. So I'm pretty sure you can still level the Val gems, or the corrupted gems anyway. So we got some more info on the new challenge leagues. The ambush is those strong boxes, and invasion is instead... essentially, zones will have random extra mob spawns and a random extra unique boss in each zone. So it's sort of bringing the idea a bit of endgame maps coming, but the boss itself, we don't actually know everything about invasion just yet. But having extra bosses, apparently there's 12 new unique bosses to Invasion in addition to the other 60 as well. So Invasion sounds like it's going to be the most hardcore of all of the hardcore leagues, because you're going to be running into different mob types in zones that you might not expect. Like you could be stacking a cold resist going for Merval, all of a sudden a bunch of like lightning mobs appear or something that you weren't expecting. So, you know, and then there's maybe some really nasty lightning boss. So I expect we're going to see a lot of rips in early Invasion, but it should be pretty interesting. So it's going to be super hardcore, and again, probably not with like an obvious immediate reward. Like you'll get stuff from the bosses, I'm sure, but it's not the same as Ambush where you open a box, kill the stuff, and then get a big burst of loot. But this has always been the theme between hardcore and softcore. Softcore challenges get extra sort of bonuses after you kill them. They get extra rewards, whereas this one just makes it harder. So pretty interesting stuff. There we go, we've got Invasion League. We can see extra things spawning where they wouldn't normally spawn, and the new boss monsters and all that jazz. Otherwise, we have new cutthroat leagues. I haven't seen this optional league type. I don't think it says anything. Increasing the number and duration of cutthroat events as we iterate on the rules within the community. So they haven't actually talked about what the rule changes are, but they must have some ideas about how they can make longer duration cutthroat events, which is pretty cool to hear. They've also opened up the Sarn Arena, which you can enter up through this door here in Sarn, and it'll basically, it sounds like you kind of just go in there and there'll be random people fighting in there. It's just a massive free-for-all, which is pretty interesting there. So, oh man, the evil team. Timeout. Anyway, the other final thing is we have a launch competition. So there's this endgame final map where you have to get to the apex of God or something else, I think it's called, or something like that. But the final boss is then Asuri herself, which we can see. Oh, in this picture here. No, wait, where is it? There we go. Here's the Asuri fight. We can see Flame Blast going off, or is that like a Totemic Storm Call or something like that? I'm pretty sure it's Flame Blast. Maybe it looks like, well, I'm not sure what that is, but we can see Asuri combat happening here. But the first 50 people in each league to kill Asuri get access to a unique cosmetic microtransaction that will not otherwise be available ever. So there's actually kind of this like rush to endgame to get this sort of thing going on. The Apex of Sacrifice, that's the one. The Apex of Sacrifice. But that's really cool. There's going to be some strong competition for that, I reckon. I don't think. See, I have about 2 days to play before I have to go away for a while. So I don't think I'll be able to do it in 2 days. I expect, especially in hardcore, there's going to be so many rips that it actually takes quite a few days for people to get to this. I'm thinking like around a week, which is going to be pretty awesome, I think. So anyway, I think that just about covers the news. That just about covers the news, guys. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover. But man, there's just so much going on at the moment in terms of all of the games I play and the gaming news at the moment. Like we've got the new Grim Dawn Act 2, Diablo patch 2.0.1, Path of Exile expansion coming up. I even tried out Elder Scrolls Online yesterday, put up a video on YouTube for that. So much going on. Anyway, that's it for the news. I'm going to go check my lunch that's in the oven, so I'll be back in a minute, guys.